Elliot, lovely to catch up today. Hope everything's well and looking forward to having a chat about some of these important issues when it comes to human resources, people and culture, and your wisdom of being at the apex of that part of the organisation in a large, successful Australian professional services firm. So my first question is, what one question about your employees do you wish you knew the answer to that you don't know the answer to today?
Sure. I'd say there's lots of questions. Hard to really narrow it down to one, and it's really good to have a platform where we can tap more than one question. I think that's important. But at the moment, what comes to mind is certainly well-being. We do have some sense of that. I think we do with the people listening approach have a good sense of that. But the reason I say that's one question is because it changes so quickly, changes so much. And if I could do anything about knowing how someone's going to feel tomorrow, that would help immensely, because it's a big issue for us just with everything that's going on globally. We've done a lot of work on well-being, and we are continually dipping in to see. But at a broad level, when you've got 10,000 employees, I know that there's all individual stories from every employee that matter about their well-being, and so really understanding that more, that's hard to do, right? It's hard to do on a global level, and it often has to be individual. So yeah, understanding more about the answers to that question, how you're traveling, how you're going, are really important to us right now.
Has that become more of an issue since people are working from home following the pandemic?
It has, and we've noticed, I think quite a few companies have noticed that our initial inclinations on where we would see wellbeing challenges were not always right. We see often in our early career populations, we see the most challenge on wellbeing where people are working from home, and that might be because they're in environments, say shared houses, where they've had difficulty setting up to work from home, but also because often when you're in early career, it's about learning from the people around you, and really you don't structure that. It's being in teams, seeing what people are doing, having lots of chats, lots of conversations, just walking past people, all of that. So I know a lot of our workforce, particularly that early career group, really miss that. And that impacts well-being, right? It impacts well-being. It also, if I had a second question there, it's really going to be belonging. How do people feel included? Do they feel like they belong? That's a challenge that we face, I think, not being able to get together so much in different parts of the world. Yeah.
It does, I guess, beg the question about how one sense of belonging, particularly for new employees have joined the organisation and not had a physical presence on site, feel belonging through a screen, just as we're talking to each other at the moment, and what impact that has.
Yeah, look, exactly. And we, as soon as we can, we're bringing people not only together in offices, but also ramping up travel again to be able to bring people together, because we see that as really important. And it's something that quite a number of us have global teams, and so we know that that's going to be something we have to live with for quite a while.